Welcome to this week's episode of COD Fun. I'm here with Gavin. We're going to be discussing Modern Warfare 3.
Now, Modern Warfare 3 is one of the few Call of Duties I did play in my childhood because my uncle played it all the time. He had like the Modern Warfare 3 Edition 360 when it first came out and all of that fun stuff. So I think this would be one of the better ones to talk about.
And just to clarify, we're talking about the one from 2011, the original Modern Warfare series, that kind of stuff. You know,
there's a new one.
Yeah, going straight into the campaign. Because also this takes place, I'm trying to think, because I remember the final mission of the second one. Yeah, I believe that's the one where General Shepard dies, and then Captain Price and Soap are wounded. Nikolai.
Spoilers.
The games are fairly old as it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd be listening to a gaming podcast if you weren't exactly expecting spoilers. So before you start like the first campaign mission, you see from Soap's point of view as he's laying on a cart that Nikolai and Price are like pushing him through this hallway and such. That he is very injured and they're trying to, take care of him, making sure he doesn't die. And then it shows Modern Warfare 3 has that little like line and all that stuff. It's just, what an intro. Now, first mission actually starts off, it's called, now I'm not going to address each mission, like each part of the story. I'm just going to go based off of what I can recall, because it's been years since I played Modern Warfare 3. I loved the game, though.
I played it recently, but I hadn't played the campaign recently, just the multiplayer.
Yeah. First mission, Black Tuesday, you're retaking New York. It's just chaotic and such. You're with Frost, Sandman. You get to, there's two sides of the story. Task Force 141, I think that's what they're called. And Frost and Sandman and a few other folks.
Is it the one where you use the airplane? Or is that information?
Okay, that's a later mission, actually. But yeah, just that first mission, running through New York, you do a few things, get in a helicopter eventually. I forget if that's the mission where you also go into a submarine.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember much of the campaign. I haven't played it a long time.
Yeah, then we go back to, after completing a Black Tuesday, we go back to Price, the ones we all known, and then we have a new player to this, Yuri, which he is the, I would say, main character, the person you play through the eyes of when you're not playing through Frost's eyes. Because you have the, American, forget if it's Army, Marines, or like what part of it that Frost is. And then Task Force 141 with Yuri. Yeah, I remember you have to help stabilize Soap and just try to fend off a bunch of things, like a helicopter ends up attacking you. You run through this town. The big part of the campaign is you're chasing down Makarov, which from Modern Warfare 2, the No Russian mission. One of the most controversial missions in all of Call of Duty.
Did they ever end up add that back into one of the newer...
No, they cheaped it out so much on that. Which, so I understand why people were like so frightened by a mission like that, but it just shows the kind of game that Call of Duty wasn't afraid to do stuff like that. Nowadays, you got to worry about Call of Duty being too afraid to actually give you a decent game or not.
I heard that they're doing in 2025. They're doing a remake of Black Ops 2. That's when it took place.
Yeah, that's what's been being talked about. But just throughout the campaign, you switch between Frost and the military, and then Task Force 141 getting through things. As they do work side by side, one of the missions, I forget what it's called, you're in an airplane and you're trying to protect the Russian president as a agent, I forget who it was. And then him and his daughter ends up getting kidnapped, which with Frost you end up saving them with the help of Task Force 141. There's a few other things like a gas plot and such. And a siege on Paris. It's just a very cinematic, but it's run and gun. You're constantly going through things. It's a fast pace. It's not just a constant like hold up sections. And then you have, of course, as I'm skipping around a bit here.
There's that one helicopter mission. I remember it. Going through you go through the rooftops, start gunning people down, and then you get.
Yeah, that would be the first mission, or Tuesday. So, one of the missions that's always been in my head, which of course, spoilers as we've stated, is Soap dying. You start off with Yuri and Soap. You're in this like sniper tower, and then one of Price's allies, because you're supposed to be jumping Makarov. And then you find out that actually, I'm not sure if it was a betrayal or not, or what exactly it was, but I think his name was Ravenov. He just gets blown up. And then the tower you and Soap are in, he pushes you out. He ends up taking the massive hit from the fall. And then most of that mission is you and Price carrying Soap, and then eventually you guys reach a spot, place him down on a table. Final words he says is, Makarov knows Yuri. You know, the dude that you've been playing through the eyes of. And you walk with Price through this building that's under fire, and then he kicks you into a basement.
The tickle dungeon.
Yeah. And as the line that I remember, why the bloody hell does Makarov know you? You know, him saying that as he's holding a gun right up to your head. And then it goes through a bit of a flashback showing that Yuri was an ally of Makarov, and then, you know, he had got betrayed by Makarov and, you know, started helping Task Force 141. And then, just after that mission, so it definitely leaves a mark on just how sad of a campaign it was, just story-wise. The final mission is Yuri and Price in Juggernaut suits storming a place. Like, how cool is that? Just storming the place, and the final mission is the only one I believe where Yuri actually talks, because it takes place in Price's point of view. And then just throughout that mission, you're chasing down Makarov through this building just full of his soldiers, and then Price jumps into the helicopter, crashes it back on the helipad, and before Makarov's able to shoot Price, Yuri ends up intervening but dies in the process. And then, you know, some quick time events, which Call of Duty isn't really known for all that much, breaks out. And, you know, Price strangles Makarov. You two, like, go through a giant, like, skylight, and Makarov ends up getting hanged. And the campaign just ends off with Price injured, smoking. So we're sort of piecing around here. There's plenty of plot to it that I definitely did not hit on.
Yeah, it was a long time since I played the campaign.
Yeah. So we're going to be heading over to multiplayer, which I didn't play too much.
I played that, like, yesterday.
On my PS3 days, I didn't have, like, online that much. I played a little bit. My favorite thing to play was Infected on Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, yeah. Infected was fun on Modern Warfare 3 and Infinite Warfare, I think it was when they had spiky launchers.
Yeah, that was the Advanced Warfare.
I loved Infected. It was a fun game.
Yeah, I've always loved Infected. I think Cold War did Infected pretty decently, too, to where it's like actual zombies.
No, but the multiplayer has the gun ranking system, where you, like, the more you use the gun, the better attachments you get for it, the more attachments you can get for it.
And then throughout the levels, you know, this is where you got your prestige stuff.
Player levels unlock more perks, more, like,
guns and stuff. Which you didn't have this, like, token unlock stuff. It was just, you hit a certain level, you got this gun.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't but you have this currency that you also get when you level up. It was just, here you go, here's what you got. I remember I used to just do a lot of map exploration because I played a lot of offline. And in the old Modern Warfares, they didn't have bots.
No.
So I would just be running around the maps myself, just messing around, seeing what I could find. So Gavin probably has got better experience on the multiplayer side of things.
Yeah, no, I use the Plutonium launcher, so there's actual active servers. I play with one of my friends, which, as you know...
Yeah, we gotta say it once per episode.
Let us say it in the podcast, every single game is fun with friends. But I was playing it. I was using a plutonium launcher so I can get servers. Playing it with him. We're playing with like. You can choose what game mode you want to play. It'll randomize the maps.
Yeah.
It was kind of stuff like World War II. You vote on the maps.
Yeah, I remember there was a decent amount of maps. I personally enjoyed the maps. They weren't exactly the most memorable, but that's just the older games.
Dome was one of the most memorable
okay.
maps.
So, unless you have anything else to say about multiplayer, we'll be heading over to the Spec Ops section. Yeah.
That was way cool. I loved Spec Ops.
Yeah, Spec Ops. I loved the missions that you could do. Like, I remember, I think the mission's name was Turbulence. So, with some of those missions, you had the, like, opposite side of it in the Spec Ops versions. To where you're one of the agents that was on that plane survived, and then you go save the president's daughter from being captured.
Yeah, I had to go, like, you're on the plane, it's like turning side to side. So you're just it messed up. I can't remember it. I don't like it very much.
Yeah, and then of course there was also survival. Which, speaking about Dome, there was Dome and a Paris map. Those were like my two survival maps.
It was the town map. I can't remember the name of it now, but being able to call in Predator missiles on two juggernauts at once is always nice.
Yeah, I remember. I got a good story when it comes down to survival. We made it to wave 40. It was just me and one other dude because we started off with 4 people and then just slowly started going down. And then they just left the game and such. Me and that dude, we held on tight for 40 waves straight. The amount of juggernauts and helicopters and all this other stuff. It was crazy. Now, I personally love that more than, like, new. When I say new, I'm talking like Modern Warfare 2019 because I got experience in that survival mode. I don't really like how that's constructed because it doesn't work like how the old one worked.
I don't really like a lot of the newer Call of Duties. I didn't like Black Ops 4 up, basically.
Like the old version, it had a good balance with how it worked. I said, now when you saw your first Juggernaut, that's when you're probably crapping your pants. It was either that or dealing with a helicopter riding around the map shooting you.
The helicopter is always kind of easy. The Juggernaut, like as a little kid, I was like, oh no, what's a Juggernaut? Now it's like Predator missile, just take it out.
I said, it's really scary when you get like 3 or 4 of them at once.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then you're just running around hoping while you have like 40 other dudes chasing after you. So I loved survival.
So survival was one of the funnest modes I think they've ever added to Call of Duty, like as a general.
Well, you got anything else to add when it comes down to Spec Ops?
No, nothing.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of COD Fun. We have not decided yet on what we're going to be doing next week, so we'll just see as it goes.